Hey everybody, welcome back to the OG Entertainment YouTube channel. It's OGK here, and I'm bringing you guys Axie Infinity updates once again. So today, the Axie developers hosted a fireside chat, basically where they gave updates on the game, things that are coming down the pipeline, some changes that are going to be made. And luckily for you guys, I was there. I took in all the information, and I'm going to break it down for you guys. Now, before I do that, take a peek at this. Now, this is a leak from version 2 of Battles. There's a ton of information to dissect on this screen, but I'm going to get into that later. Now, to start it off, I want to break down the most important topics that were covered today in the developer chat. So I have them written down here on my handy notepad. So the 4 main topics that were covered today in the developers chat by Jiho and Ziori and Psychout. So the 4 main ones, we got balancing, we have version 2 of Battles, which has been dubbed Axie Origins, we have the Ronindex, and we also have land gameplay. So I'm going to cover all of those topics. I'm going to break them down more in depth about what was said, what was communicated, what we could really scrape together with the information that we have, and I'll give my opinions and all my thoughts and let you guys know, and obviously share your comments as well down below. If you think my thoughts are off, or you think I'm onto something, let me know. Same thing, if you think you're onto something, I'd love to hear about it, because I just love talking about this game. So getting into it, first topic here. Let me pull up some stuff. So we are getting into balancing, and that makes me think about my little Terminator on the screen here. It also makes me think about some of my other Axies that I have going on, because some of the rumored nerfs here. I'm just pulling up my Axies on the other screen so you guys will be able to see, but some of the rumored nerfs that we expect to see. Potentially Double Talk, Grass Snake. One that I heard of recently, actually, Thorny Caterpillar joined the list. Tiny Turtle has come up now because of this leak from the picture. That is one of the moves that is included in the version 2 of Battles update. So there's a few things that we are expecting to get nerfed, and I should say that cautiously, because when Axie goes for a nerf, they do keep in mind that their investors did invest into those Axies, so they don't make it, I guess, too much worse. They just tone it down just a little bit. So those are some of the things that you should expect to see, getting a little bit of a debuff. And then on the flip side, some of the things that are more popular, like unpopular, like your bugs at the moment, your silent whisperer plants, your strawberry shortcake, things like that. Those are some moves that I expect to see buffed here. Let me see if I can pull up some of my Axies for you guys. Bang, there we have the Axies on screen. So here's some of my Axies that I have. So I'm most concerned about these two beautiful little Termies. I'm definitely concerned about them. I heard earlier, actually, that Koi might potentially be getting hit as well. You can see I grabbed a Silent Whisperer just in case it does get that buff, like I expect. But this is all speculation. We will see what happens. That was communicated that those balancing updates will be done before Season 19 starts. I expect Season 19 to begin before November, or right around the beginning of November. So that gives us somewhere between the next 3-4 weeks that we will see these balancing updates, okay? So that's the first thing that we can expect to see, and I'm going through them in the order that I expect them to be released, I should mention. So the first thing I expect to be released, it's going to be the balancing updates, and I expect to see those soon, within a month. That brings me to the second part here, which is actually going to take us into version 2 of Battles, which is dubbed Axie Origins, which is pretty cool. I'm sure everyone has seen some of the main graphics that have been going around now that go along with Axie Origins. One of the main things that I picked up from the developer update today was Jiho making a comment about potentially breaking down Axies in order to get additional body parts so that you could more or less upgrade the body parts on a different Axie. So for example, I could break down an old Axie that has snail shell in order to get an additional snail shell part so that I could use that snail shell part to upgrade snail shell on this Axie, for example. And I didn't notice the levels on the body parts here, like you can see on screen before I heard Jiho mention that on the live chat today, but after he mentioned it, it definitely made me want to jump in and take a peek, and sure enough, there you can see that each body part does have a corresponding level, so that does fall in line with what was mentioned. Now, bringing us back to some of the new cards that were released, one of the other cool pieces of information that you can kind of just gather from this leaked picture, Bubble Maker and Sakura. Now one of those is ears. I think they might actually both be ears. I'm just not sure what Sakura actually is. I believe it's ears. But the main point is that ears and also eyes, as far as I'm aware, will now have additional stats and abilities, just like all of the rest of the body parts. So Axies will go from having 4 really main variables or abilities to potentially having 6. So you can see on the screen here, Bubble Maker has an ability that goes with it, so does Sakura. Also a damage cost, it looks like, that goes with Bubble Maker. So there's a ton of new stuff to uncover here for Axie Origins. To quickly circle back to the balancing, one of the cards that is shown on screen here is the Tiny Turtle, which is Chomp. So you can see the damage corresponding with it as well is 60. I do believe it is, let me pull up the other one that I have on screen now. It is currently sitting at 80. If you're looking for that Terminator to get a little bit of a nerf, it could potentially be happening. As you can see here, version 1 of Tiny Turtle, 80 damage here, and then we flip back to the version 2, and you can see it's sitting at 60 damage. So it remains to be seen if that change will take effect before Season 19, or if we're just maybe reading a little too far ahead, and if these changes will happen after Season 19, that remains to be seen. But you can see there's some beautiful artwork on these cards. It seems like they are a much more time was put into these ones, or into these graphics. Maybe just some more resources were available now. Not too sure exactly what it was, but just absolutely gorgeous. And along with that will come obviously new levels. It's going to bring new enemies. So there's a ton of new features coming with version 2 of Battles. Which brings me to, I think, the final maybe update, or the final massive piece of Axie Infinity for 2021, which is actually going to be the Ronin Dex. So Ronin Dex, if it comes out on time, which will be at the end of 2021, it will have the same effect on the game as Ronin V2, which is what led the massive increase this summer with 2021, when Axie went from a couple 100,000 users a month to now almost 2 million active users per month. Now, we would expect to see, it's really hard to predict the exact number, but it's the same kind of effect on the Axie network. So, I'm going to speculate somewhere from 2 million to 10-ish million. Now, obviously, that's a lot of people, but I think everything that I've read into the game, everything that I've learned about the game, and every piece of information that I get, it all adds up to tell me that this game is absolutely getting to 10 million users. There's no reason for it not to. And actually, just from the AXS staking that was released, there's been a big boom in the economy, and I've noticed the changes in the marketplace. There's about 40,000 less available Axies on the marketplace, and that's because new players are coming into the market. They're scooping up those Axies. So just goes to show you that the long-term future of this game is very good, and there is a ton of stuff that's coming before the end of the year. So just to quickly highlight those three again, balancing first, then it's going to be the Axie Origins version 2 of Battles, and then followed by the Ronin decks, I believe. Now those two could flip-flop potentially, the two bottom ones, but I would expect to see balancing, followed by Axie Origins, and then to close out 2021 with the Ronin decks, and we go hot into 2022. Now the only other thing that was touched on today, chat, was land gameplay, okay? So now when they were talking about it, Jiho mentioned that there's 3 main buckets or 3 main aspects that need to be covered before land gameplay is released to the public. They also mentioned that they don't want to basically rush anything or have anything that's buggy, not really ready for full use. So that's kind of the indication that I got, that we won't see land gameplay until maybe mid 2022. Now they mentioned that they're working on the first bucket of the 3 buckets that were mentioned, and that first bucket is basically making a way for the players to earn off of the land. So I've always assumed, nothing's been communicated, but I've always assumed that you're going to be able to somehow farm AXS tokens or farm SLP. One of the rumors, I don't know if I read into this or basically how I ended up with this in my head, whether it was through a conversation or something that I read, but potentially sending your adventure teams on missions. So basically like an expedition, you could send your team of 3 Axies to go and retrieve some AXS from a land piece that's, you know, however far away. Depending how far away it is how long it will take them to go retrieve the AXS, come back. Apparently the landowner will also get a tax on that. So it all remains to be seen how this is all going to play out. But that will be coming up in 2022. As I mentioned, they are still on bucket 1 of 3, so we need to see all those buckets get finished off before we'll see land. So that's a little far off, but there's still a ton of stuff coming before 2021. If you guys think I'm on the right track, let me know down in the comments. If you think I'm completely off base, also let me know down in the comments. I'm just curious to kind of know what you guys think. If you guys think that this is if this is the game plan, or maybe you know, maybe I'm a little bit misinformed, but we'll see. Definitely expect to see balancing very soon, and I hope to see you guys back here very soon. I hope this video has been helpful for everybody. I hope that you guys have learned something. If you have, definitely sub, because I'm going to keep doing this kind of stuff, like part 2 of AXS staking. Let me throw that up quickly on the screen for you guys. You guys can take a quick little sneak peek at that. It doesn't want to cooperate. I'll do it in another video. Part 2 of AXS staking coming up, everybody. Make sure you're subbed. Make sure you're subbed, or else you won't see it. All right. Appreciate everybody's time. I hope you're having a great day, and we will talk soon. Take care. Bye-bye.